morning.
Good morning.
If you see the video, which was about the promotion, everything what is written in the beginning can become reality for you if you keep following what the coaches say, what they talk, what they preach, what they do. I just want to remind to the people which they didn't make their videos, it's your choice. If you want to make, I will stop repeating these things because it's your global money community. You decide to take action and to come here to enter. You decide to stretch or not to stretch. Good morning, Svetomir. Yeah. For example, Svetomir, he's stretching a lot.
It's all about practice. So, practice here.
It's not all about money anyway. Even our topic today is all about money.
Yeah. And today I was reading also about this push and pull, and I was thinking, it's also how you inspire yourself, not pushing is like you're going to make yourself scared or, with negative emotion. It's also about how you can inspire yourself, think about your big vision, what you like to do, to achieve, and take action.
With how many of you happen to go and to open the door and to push, and then you get angry, and then you see it's written pull on the door, and you get a little bit embarrassed of yourself, and you open the door and you're happy. So this is how it happens in life also. Sometimes we push, but it doesn't need to be pushed. Just need to read the sign around us, because the universe talk, and to pull. If it's necessary to pull, to pull. If it's necessary to push to open the door, you need to push.
So today we'll be talking about money, right?
Money. All the time Clementine is asking, my love, stop asking me for money, go to make money. I say, listen, the Pope doesn't make money. I am... Anyway, today, one of the great motivators for me, his name is Zig Ziglar. And even I said to Steve, the guy who owed me so many pancakes in my life, I told him to take and to look at it. I want to tell you what Zig Ziglar said. What money? Money is the most important, it's not the most important thing in the world, but it's close to the oxygen. And today I listened again his one of his preachers, because he was a preacher before. Money can buy you a nice house, but cannot buy you a home. Money can buy you a companion, but cannot buy you a friends. Money can buy you a good time, but will not buy you peace of mind. Money will buy you a bed, but will not buy you a good sleep. So this is what Zig Ziglar is saying about. I will post the video after in the group so you can watch. But let's see, George.
Yes.
From our friend directly from Lebanon, and money. What money is all about?
It's all about money.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, George.
How are you today?
We are great.
Before to continue, I want to ask the people, ask a question. Ask questions.
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions. So it's all about the money, but not the way you're thinking about it. So what we're going to be talking about is a different way of looking at money and building money from the inside out, not from the outside in. So some of the tips you might be familiar with, the external tips, but we're going to go more inside and make you a millionaire, maybe even a billionaire from the inside out, because change starts from within. And once you have it from within, this is how it starts. So last week we introduced a little bit the concept of masculine and feminine energies. And so now we're on to the first step of a 4-step process. So today is step 1. And it's going to be about your relationship with yourself, and how improving your relationship with yourself will help you have more money, the real money. So this is step one. If you join us next week or the one after, we're going to be talking about your relationship with your boss or employee, your colleagues, and your clients. And here's where Krasimir will be very happy, because there's this guy here who's going to be helping us a lot. But that's not for today, it's for next week. And so on. So, okay. So for today, step one is about your relationship with yourself. And so if you want to have better relationships at work and make money as a byproduct, because money is literally a byproduct, there are 3 things for you to improve on yourself. And we're going to talk about those 3 things today. The first one is to increase your self-worth. Do you know this guy again?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We do.
And the second point we're going to be talking about is how to turn anxiety into certainty, how to be certain. And the third point is to increase your self-confidence. Now, why are we going to talk about those 3 points specifically? Because those points are actually a result that will strengthen your self-esteem. And by raising your self-esteem, you will be able to actually stand up for yourself and either ask for a raise or start your own business or whatever the scenario is. So let's start with the first thing. We're going to start with how you can increase your self-worth. Okay? So there are 5 points I put down. There are much more than 5 points, but those are really 5 key areas that we're going to be talking about. The first point is you choose your current income. In other words, you set your own financial thermostat. There are many researches and studies from Dr. Sonia Lyubomirsky, for example, who talked about the happiness thermostat, or T. Harv Eker, for those of you who are familiar with T. Harv Eker, who's a millionaire. He talks about financial thermostat. And financial thermostat is no other than, like Pat was explaining a couple of days ago, it's like the temperature in your room. You have the temperature for your financial thermostat. So let's say, for example, your financial thermostat is set to earn $21,000 per year. So if you want to earn more, then what you need to do is raise your financial thermostat. Because you can, what will happen is, let's say your financial thermostat is set at $21,000 per year, and then, sorry, I'm reading the question. I'll get back to you very soon. Okay, so if you have your financial thermostat set at $21,000, and let's say you're in sales, I'm just giving random examples, random numbers, and during your year you do $21,000. 1 month you get to $15,000. So you know what will happen? Because your financial thermostat is set at $21,000, while this month it would be like skyrocketing, the rest of the year will be going down, unless you raise the bar, unless you raise your financial thermostat. This is very important. Bob Proctor talks about it as the paradigm, you need to shift your financial paradigm. And so 2 things are important in this respect. First, appreciate yourself, look at yourself as an asset and appreciate yourself. And the second point is make a decision. Make a decision that you want to earn or to be more than $21,000 or more than $1 million or more than $50 billion. You set your own financial thermostat and you work on it. There are many ways. You can start by visualizing, acting as if, opening all the opportunities, etc. But this is a key, very, very important key point. You cannot earn more than what you subconsciously believe or what your image believes you are worth. So if your self-image is, I'm worth $50,000, you will not be able to earn more. You will not be able to see the opportunities above the $50,000, which are all around us. You will not be able to maybe be friends with people that are in the same level. A little bit later on, we're going to talk about Jim Rohn and how you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And this is very important. If you surround yourself with millionaires, you're soon to be a millionaire. If you surround yourself with $20,000 people, that's where you are at. And it's all a matter of time. There's a process behind it. So this is the first point. The second point, for you to actually increase your self-worth, whether you're a boss, you have your own company, or even if you are an employee in a company, it is very important to actually act like you own the company. It is very important for you to act like you own the company. And by acting like you own the company, you're actually taking opportunities and not saying, oh, this is not my job. This is Krasimir's job. This is Mira's job. This is whoever's job. No, your job as the owner of the company is to make sure that you do everything, not all the time, but like act like you own the company. Be interested in the company. This is very, very, very important. A lot of people tend to go like people that tend to not be happy at work. They tend to go just for their salary, paycheck, whichever. They're like, oh, I have my job. I'm going to do my job. It's from 9 to 5 or whichever. And that's it. Don't ask more of me. I'm not interested. And by the way, this shows that actually they're not really passionate about what they do. Had they been passionate about what they would be doing, they would actually go even further and ask for more opportunities and find opportunities and create more opportunities. So this is the second point, and it's very, very important. So don't settle. And most importantly, one very, very important point, set your own values. Just like companies have their own values, you as an individual have to set your own values. Once you set your own values, what happens is you are in alignment with your soul, you're in alignment with your purpose, you can start feeling more abundant from the inside out. And this is where you actually align your values with the company's values. If you're an owner, you create the company's values as an image of your own values. If you're an employee, then if you're in a company that you're not happy about and your values don't match, then I would suggest being aware of your values and moving on. Because if you're not aligned with values, it's not going to help. It's not going to work. It can work for the short term, but if you want the dollars, the euros, not going to work. The third point, there's something called the new normal. And the new normal is simply put, we live in a world that constantly changes. Whereas a couple of years ago, people tend to work for one job their whole life. Now people tend to have multiple jobs in a career. And this is very important because while before it was great, let's say, for example, I was a salesperson okay, let's change of salesperson. Let's say I'm a marketing person in a company. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, I used to work, for example, in the same company all my career, all my life. And so I didn't really need to upgrade my skills. I was like, you know what? I went to university, I went to school, college, I have my master's, my PhD, my blah, 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 whichever you have. And I know everything, I master it. So why do I need to waste more time and just learn more? But today, if you don't actually learn more, if you don't develop new skills, you're going downward, especially because we're all going online. And if you don't master those skills, how are you going to compete with the market? It's important to constantly improve yourself. It's important for you to adapt, to initiate. So try new things. You need to course correct. So sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes you need to say, okay, you know what? I learned this digital marketing thing, but I'm not so sure. Let me take a certificate in how to create a website, be even more in depth. Sometimes you need to course correct, and it's important to constantly reevaluate yourself. Reevaluate your work. And follow the momentum. Follow the momentum because it's all about the timing. And if you're in the flow, things will be much smoother, much faster, and you will feel much lighter, much happier about it. And it's all about your habits. For those of you who don't like habits, I'm sorry, but it's every successful person has a habit. For those that are afraid or like feel caged to do habits, look at it as a short-term pain for a long-term gain, or look at it as I don't like it right now, but it's instead of choosing instant gratification, I'm actually going to go for the long term. Instead of earning $20,000 per year by just, let's say, not doing anything, just my work, I say, you know what? I'm going to develop a habit of learning this new skill. And it might not be very comfortable, but in a year's time, I'm going to not only double, but maybe even triple my income to, I don't know, $60,000 euros. And so the beauty about habits is that you can be playful around them. You can choose your habits, which is more the masculine side of things, but at the same time, you can be feminine with them. For example, I hear that Krasimir loves to run. So if someone, for example, wants to run, but actually they're like, you know what? Okay, it's fine once a week, 2 times a week, but I get bored. I don't like doing the same thing every single day. But doing the same thing every single day is the masculine side of the habit. But at the same time, how you can be more feminine around it and include spontaneity and include last minute things. It's like, okay, Krasimir, today you're going to run with Clementine. Tomorrow you're going to run with Steve. After tomorrow you're going to run. So you can change people you're running with. You can change locations you're running with. You can change aspects. So you can run faster. You can run slower. This is where the feminine energy comes in to actually adapt and work on all those things. Okay. 4th thing, earn what you're worth. Don't settle. People tend to settle. Oh, I have a job, that's fine. No. That settling means going backward. Settling means the world is going forward and you're going backward. Think 5 years ahead. If you're not thinking 5 years ahead and seeing the trends that are going to happen, then you're in for a problem. It's important to anticipate the market, anticipate yourself, and it will help you in your own confidence, in your own self-worth, and you will feel more powerful, more in control. And always, always, always improve your weakest skill. I'm not saying you should work on your weakness. That's another topic. I'm saying, for example, if you're a salesperson and you're great in 5 out of 6 areas, and for example, this area that is, for example, prospecting is a weak area in your case, then this will hinder you a lot in earning more money. Imagine if you would be able to actually develop this skill that you have. You already have 5 good skills in sales. So develop the 6th one, for example. And then you will be a master of sales and your self-worth will skyrocket, your income, you will be very much in demand. So this is very important. The last point with regards to self-worth is it's important to actually get paid more. So how do you do that? How do you get paid more? Who doesn't want to get paid more, right? The first thing is make the right choices. Choose the right amount that you want to have. Work on it. Be prepared to change. Change yourself, not change other people or other circumstances. They're all a mirror of yourself. Change yourself on a constant basis. Have a positive attitude.
It's like if you want to change the people around you, change yourself.
Well, exactly. And the thing is, you cannot change anyone but yourself. That's the only way it works, because there's something called free will. And if you're trying to change someone else, it might work for a short period of time, like in a way, if you're like trying to control them. But who likes to be controlled? Who likes to be controlled? They might say, okay, 1 day, 2 days, 1 year, 2 years. But at a certain point, they're going to say, oh, you know what? I'm just tired of this. I want to be free. We are free spirits. We are free humans. So the only way to change is by changing yourself. And once you do, all in the inside, then notice how things will change. I'm going to give you an example of a story I had. So a couple of years ago, I was still actually working in a company, and I wasn't very enthusiastic about it. And I said, you know what? I actually want to change. And for years, I've been like playing the victim and why and how and blah, blah, blah. Then I said, you know what? I'm not going to change other people. I'm going to change myself. So when I started changing my mindset, when I developed new skill set, when I did all the internal work, guess what happened? I didn't even look for another job. The other job parachuted to me. I wasn't even looking. It just happened to be. Same thing later on when I wanted to create my own company. I wasn't happy anymore. But then I started working more on myself, etc., etc. And then what happened? I created my own business. And so it's all about changing yourself. Okay, enough about self-worth for the moment. Let's talk about confidence. Who's in for confidence? Do you have anything you want to add, by the way, Krasimir Clement? Yes?
No.
Okay.
I'm thinking me about financial thermostat. Do you have to set it for the year or you can set it for the months? Because for me, sometimes...
Sorry? Go ahead.
Because for me, sometimes to set it for the year, it's not so realistic. I don't know how to explain it. I need to set it for the months, like to have an idea how much I'm going to earn a month. So this is... Yeah.
It's actually a great question. Thank you for asking. So you can have different ways. It's not one way or another. In general, the financial thermostat is basically your self-image around money. And if, for example, let's say you want to become a millionaire and you think it's too far-fetched, maybe because you don't believe in your self-worth, maybe because you don't have the skill set yet, maybe because of 1,000 reasons. One thing that you can do is trim it down. So instead of saying, okay, I want to reach $50 million this year. So this is, but you're like, okay, consciously, maybe I can, but subconsciously, like you have your self-talk who's like, no, how can you do that? You never did that before. On this self-talk. So what you can do is break it down. Okay, let's say I want $1 million this year. So observe yourself and what you have. Do you have 5 businesses? Do you have 1 business? Do you have 1 source of income? Do you have 7? From where do you generate your income? From where currently, and where do you want to? How do you think you can generate this income? So for example, let's say I want to earn $1 million and I have one company and the company is earning $100,000. Okay. So I have this huge gap between $100,000 per year to add $900,000 to reach the $1 million, which I want to reach, for example. Okay. So what you can do is, okay, I already have this 100,000 and how am I doing it? Let's say I'm coaching people and the coaching is helping me generate $100,000. So I have a $900,000 gap. So how can I fill it? Okay, so I have this company. From this company, what other products or services can I create? Maybe I can write a book and make it a New York Times bestseller. Maybe I can create a podcast. Maybe I can do this or that. And so you start adding those services. And once you start adding, you calculate how much you estimate that each product or service will generate. And you start adding them up. Maybe you say, okay, you know what? Actually, my company is worth $100,000, but I'm not able to generate more from it, or I can only generate 500,000 more. How am I going to find the rest? Well, you can either create another company, work for other companies, open a consultancy. It's all about finding the ways. Sometimes you might not have the skill set. So this is where you think, okay, how can I improve my skills? How can I develop new skills to reach this level? And you might realize, actually, you know what? My gap is too far-fetched for this year. Maybe actually I want to reach 1 million, but let me put it for 2 years. It's maybe more, it's easier for me. So how can I do that? Then you start doing the same process. where can I generate more income from? How can I do this? How can I do that? And it's not just the physical things, by the way. Those are just physical things, developing your skill set and all those. One very important thing, visualization. There's actually, I'll get into that in a bit with confidence. But it's a very interesting, it's related to confidence, so I'm going to jump in and explain it. There's a client of mine who actually is very successful in her business, but she has a lot of issues when it comes to relationships. And for some reason, she's not able to visualize. At the same time, I'm like, okay, you know what? You are able to successfully visualize your business. So maybe this is something you can gain from. So take this confidence you have in your business, the way you visualize it, and apply it in other areas where you're not that successful. And why is that? Simply because in this case, in your business, you already have the neurons who are programmed in a way to make you successful. So what you can do is take the same trigger that you have when you're doing the business visualization and apply it to the other area, in this case, for example, relationship or whichever. In our case, for example, we can talk about the financial thermostat. So let's say, for example, you're really good in your business, but your financial thermostat isn't that great. So you're able to visualize building this and that and creating this business and being partners with Richard Branson and Brian Tracy and all those people. But at the same time, you're not able to generate the income that you can. So think about it. Okay. So the way I visualize, for example, my business is I start putting some trance music, let's say. I'm not talking about me. I'm just giving a random example, which is the trigger. Let's say your trigger is, okay, it's time for me to visualize business. So let me put some trance music and dance. Maybe this is your trigger. So what you do is you take this particular trigger and you apply it whenever you want to think about your financial thermostat. So you just put this what they just call it, the music, the trance music, and you start dancing. And instead of visualizing your business, you visualize your financial thermostat. You visualize yourself earning this $1 million or $2 million. So this is very, very important, and it's taken very much lightly, because this is how you can build your success. You just take a successful area in one side and put it in another side. You already have the triggers. It's already working great with you. So just take this small thing and apply it to where you don't think it's working as much as you want to. And once you do that, then of course it's not the magic button. It's not like, okay, and now I'm a billionaire. It's going to take some practice. So you do it once and twice. Like the first time, okay, you know what? I'm putting the trance and everything. I'm going back to visualizing my business. Okay, stop, or allow the thought to come in and shift it. Have fun with it, and you do that. You do that time and time again. So this is how I would say: visualize, and at the same time develop your skill set and divide your goals, or how you can reach this level that you want to achieve, and constantly improve yourself and work towards achieving your goal. Sometimes you might not be able to achieve it, and it's okay. So, for example, Jack Canfield had a goal to, I'm not sure if it's Jack Canfield, someone very important had a goal, let's say, to reach $100,000 his first year. And so what happened is that he was actually at the end of the year generate $92,000. So would you go and say, oh, boo-hoo, I actually didn't reach my target? Or would say, okay, great job, George. You actually reached very high. You're very close. Now move forward. This is how it's not about like, okay, it's either I reach 100,000 or I don't. This is very important to keep in mind. Did I answer your question?
Yes. So now we're going to, you wanted to say something more about the confidence?
Oh, I have a lot to say. Okay, let me, do you prefer to talk about confidence or self-esteem or self-esteem? Like, either I can, do you want to, actually I'll post the exercise later forget about self-esteem. So I'm just going to give you 15 habits to develop more confidence that will help you and is very important. So the first thing is think of your qualities. We tend to always have a negative image of ourselves, and we tend to think like it's not something we do consciously, but over time we're like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not in a field where we're not good. For example, a couple of years ago when I wasn't good in public speaking, I would focus on the lack or the challenges I had instead of focusing on the good things. So for example, let's say I'm a good storyteller. Let me focus on the storytelling and not on me, for example, not having a great body language. I'm not saying you shouldn't work on what you're not great at. Do that, but at the same time, focus on your qualities. Number one. Number two, remember your positive experiences. Or in other words, have your own success journal. Write down your successes of the day, the month, the moment, the year. And this is something extremely powerful. Because let's say, for example, after a month, let's say every month you actually go back and look at your success journal. Instead of saying, okay, what did I do this month? Oh, I didn't do anything. But if you have your success journal, you're like, oh, wow, I actually did this and this and this and this and that. And what that does, other than it rewires your brain to think about success very, very often or most of the time, what also happens is it builds momentum. It helps you build momentum forward. So this is very important. Point number 3, gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Whenever you see yourself in a state of lack of appreciation, whenever you see yourself down, shift to gratitude. And if gratitude is not something you're okay with, then there's another way to shift your confidence. And it's simply by shifting your posture. You've all heard about the 2-minute Superman power pause that the social scientist Amy Cuddy talked about. She has a very famous TED talk about it. Do that. And if you're in your workplace and you actually want to boost your self-confidence on the go, and you just have 2 minutes, but you can't stand up because it's awkward and people are going to look at you, you can just do this, put your hands around your head and have your leg on top of the other. It's like you're having space and you're like, okay, I'm the king or queen of the world or the room. And you can just do that for 2 minutes. And if you notice, a lot of sometimes confident people do that. Sometimes even arrogant people do that. And you shouldn't associate the two together. The arrogance is an extreme, but what we want to take is the good side of things, and it's the confidence they build. And this is one posture that really does help. Another thing that can help is to fake it till you make it, in the sense of dress well. Dress like with a costume, with not costume like a Halloween costume. I mean by like a bow and a tie, or if you're or like more a shirt or something that would make you feel okay. I look handsome or You're here? Hello, hello. I can't hear you. Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay.
We're here.
So other points, contribute to society. This is a major thing that will help you boost your confidence, because you are actually going outside of yourself. Instead of thinking, what can I get? What about me? Think about, what can I give? Because what you give, you actually receive. Not necessarily from the same person, but from the universe, from God, from whoever you believe in, you will receive back. There's a concept I really, really love that will help you boost your confidence and develop your skills. It's something it's Brian Tracy who called it University on the Wheels. Are you familiar with it, Krasimir?
Sorry, say again?
University on the Wheel.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
So it's actually something very beautiful. And Brian Tracy talks about it. He's like, okay, I know some of us don't have time. We have busy schedules. We have work. We have the kids. We have all those things. What he suggests is, when you're in your commute or where you're driving your car to go from home to the office, or in the metro or in and whichever. I'm frozen again. And
Now
I'm
you're
back.
okay. Yes.
Okay, so University on Wheel basically is learning new skills in your car. You can do that through audiobooks. You can do that through podcasts, or you can listen to them on your phone, in a CD, anything that helps. And imagine doing that. How many hours, if you have like, for example, half an hour back and forth, or half an hour, or 15 minutes, or 1 hour, you know how much this would add to your daily or to your weekly or monthly time of gaining new skills? And you can literally learn thousands of things. You can learn a new language. You can learn a new, probably you cannot learn how to cook. It's going to be a bit more complicated. You can learn the theory and then apply it, but you know what I mean? Like you can act, you're frozen or you're back, you're here.
No, you're here. Yeah.
Okay. So University on Wheel is very important. I'm going to stop it there.
Now I remember Tony Robbins call it net time, no extra time.
Exactly.
He call it differently. Yes.
So those are very, very important points.
Okay.
I think we don't have question from the audience.
No,
No
they're
worries. Okay.
they're speechless.
They're sleeping.
I hope in a good way. So one thing before we wrap up, what is very important is that by actually increasing your self-worth, like we talked about, by increasing your self-confidence and developing new skills and constantly being proactive and working further and forward, being action-oriented, choosing, deciding, and moving forward, what will happen is not only will you double your income, you will double, triple, quadruple, and much, much more. So your relationship with yourself, by working on your own self, you would have gained a long-term friend called money. Because money is just a reflection of who you are. Money is energy, money is abundance. So the more abundant you feel about yourself, the more abundance you can reflect and put outside the world. And this is how actually you can win millions and billions and trillions. One last example. There can be two people working in the same job, doing the same things over and over again. What's the difference between the two of them?
The mind.
Exactly. It's all about the self-worth developed by your own mindset. If someone sees, okay, I'm $1 million person, and the other says, I'm a $100,000 person, it's all about that.
So Giorgio will be posting a challenge for the week, right?
I will be posting actually 2 exercises. They are going to be very short. So it's the first is on self-esteem, and it's a couple of questions. It's just a yes/no answer. It's for you to notice where you are with regards to your self-esteem and which areas are important for you to actually work on. And I'm also going to post a self-love barometer from Dr. Ain. I'll let you know the name later, and so that you can know where you are with respect to your self-love, because those 2 things are very, very important to increase your money, to increase your income, and to feel abundant.
Give it to me. I want to do it.
Awesome.
Okay. So shall we close for today?
It's your call.
Yeah. I want to remind to the people which they didn't contact their accountability partners, or the people which they contact their accountability partners, but they didn't contact them back. Please send me a message and I will arrange new accountability partners, because it's important for you to have this. And you want to say something else, Milo?
No, I just wanted to say that on Friday or so we organize a party in Paphos, so you're welcome, or you can also invite your friend to join us. It's going to be fun. We're going to have some games.
If you have a private jet, there's no problem to come. I will personally come to take you from the airport.
So thank you, George. Thank you,
George. I'm waiting for these exercises to make them and to go skyrocket.
Yeah. I will send them to you.
We all gonna become millionaire.
Yes.
Definitely.
My love, if you are millionaire, I'm millionaire. If I'm millionaire, you are not. You are millionaire too. Sorry. Yes. Okay.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.